Hi, my name is Arjun Venkatraman. I'm here in West Kalimantan, Indonesia on an invitation with Internews. I'm at the RuaiTV studio where we've just set up an IVR system for community radio and citizen journalists to report content that will then be broadcast on the web as well as an IVR channel. I work with a group called CGNet Swara, and we developed this portal and deployed a pilot in India in February 2010. Today we receive over 300 calls a day, and we generate 3 to 5 audio reports every day from the communities in central India. I'm going to be talking a little bit about what we've done so far and why our work is important. So there exists a digital divide between people of the world. The digital divide is a distinction between people based on a very uneven spread of technology across the world. Most of the developing world is not on the internet. The internet penetration in most developing countries is about 10% or less, and as a result, people tend to not have a way to communicate with the rest of the world. And even in connected regions, literacy and the availability of infrastructure limits how much people can participate in democracy. The reason that it's not enough to develop internet technologies is this graph here. As you can see, the orange lines represent the mobile subscribers across the world, and as you can see across the world, mobile subscribers outstrip the internet users by an order of magnitude. For global users, globally it's about 80% people are on mobile, while only about 10 to 20% are on the internet. Particularly in Asia and Pacific, the mobile penetration is about 70%, while internet penetration is still under 15 to 20%. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about CGNet Swara, which is our project, and I'm going to be using it as a case study for this presentation. CGNet Swara is a voice-based community media platform that's accessible both by phone as well as the web. How it works is that people call a phone number and they can either record content or they can listen to content left by other people that's been released by moderators. The advantage of this technology is that it uses mass market mobile phones. You don't need to have a phone that supports apps. You can simply use the cheapest phone available that can do voice and SMS, and you can use that to generate news content. We've been running a successful pilot in India, Chhattisgarh, since February 2010. The reason we did what we did was because in this area there are about 90 million people who don't speak any of the mainstream languages spoken in India. English and Hindi are not spoken by these people. They speak their own languages such as Gondi, Kui and Kuduk, and there is no representation in mainstream media for these people. There are no radio channels, no newspapers, no television channels in Gondi or Kui or Kuduk or any of the tribal languages in India. So to solve this problem, we developed this technology which takes the form of an IVR system that people can call and record news on. The idea is to have a community radio system on mobile phones. This is a look at the numbers. As you can see, we started off with 0, and today we've gone to 300 calls every day. And this one spike up here is a day when we were announced on television. The number was reported on television, and that day we got 800 calls. But regularly we get about 200 to 300 calls, out of which about 20 are reports, and we release about 4 to 5. How it works is people call a phone number and they are greeted by an automated response that prompts them to press 1 to record or press 2 to listen. If they press 1, they're allowed to record a message up to 3 minutes in length. If they press 2, they can listen to messages left by other members of the community which have been released onto the channel by moderators. Once a message is received by us, it's sent to a group of moderators, typically trained journalists, who will call back the reporter and verify this news story, check for sources, edit it for quality, and finally release it onto the web as well as the IVR. Once the message goes on to the IVR and the web, it's also released onto Facebook and Twitter and several mailing lists primarily composed of grassroots and urban activists. Once the message is out there, people can actually take action on it. The big advantage of this is we can connect communities in remote parts of India with urban activists who have reach to the administration. For example, in March this year, we were the first group to report a human rights violation where over 300 houses were burnt in the conflict between the Indian state and the Maoist rebels. This news was not reported by any of the mainstream channels, and we were the first to get this news. Once we got it, of course, mainstream media jumped on it, and today the people responsible are being prosecuted. This is how the system works. As you can see, the user can call, it goes to a server. Once it goes to the server, it can be released onto the web and people on the web can listen to it. It's also released onto the IVR, meaning people in society can listen to it as well. My name is Arjun Venkatraman. I'm here in West Kalimantan, Indonesia with Internews. Thank you for your time.